True sports talk radio show where we focus on the teams and the topics important to you, the sports fan in Florida. We are game on with Bianchi and Kravitz. I am Bianchi, Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog. I'm the sports columnist of the Orlando Sentinel. He is Kravitz, Brandon Kravitz, the hardest working man in sports media, the prodigy of production. Primetime Jaden Grimes, he's right over there. Of course, he's the executive producer, the man who puts the go into the show. As always, we are coming to you live from our studios in Orlando, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, and all points in between on the iHeart Radio app. And we want to hear from you throughout the course of our show. Okay, you can text us on the Mills Air text line. That's 50857. You can also enter the Rage Cage if you like. That's wow, Rage Cage loud today.
Very angry.
Very angry Rage Cage today. That's the little red talk back microphone on the top of the iHeart Radio app. Press that button and leave us a hot take. We've got a very, 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 very special guest getting ready to join us right now. He's coming straight from the NBA Finals. Let's welcome in new Magic head coach, Sean Sweeney. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join Game On today.
What's going on, fellas? Thanks for having me.
Coach, as I told you at your press conference today, we are pumped about having you in Orlando. A lot of us feel like the Magic won the coaching carousel because you had options. There were some other head coaching jobs out there you probably could have had. You talked about it a little bit today, but how enticing was this roster in helping you take the Magic job?
Yeah, definitely very enticing. When we played against the Magic the last few years, different places that I've been, and specifically this year in San Antonio, the roster stood out. And, when I got to dive in and really study it more in preparation for talking with Jeff and the guys here, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Coach, when somebody asked you today about what you want your Magic players to say about you after your first season, you brought up a quote from one of your former players, Reggie Jackson, who told you you're the first a-hole I've ever actually liked. I'm curious. I want to know this because a lot of my readers and listeners call me an a-hole. How do you become a likable a-hole?
Well, and the crazy thing was, bro, he told me he loved me, so that's even worse. I don't know, man. I love coaching Reg, and there's a lot of guys that I've been really fortunate to coach. But, just in general, we want to talk directly to each other. I want them to trust me. I want them to trust the coaching staff that we're putting together. And I want to be able to trust them. We want to be consistent each day in how we approach things. We want to be very attentive. We want to be active in our attention. We want to be intentional in our leadership and make sure, coaching is teaching and teachers are guides. So we want to lead as guides. They're the heroes. So that's our job, is to help them be in the right spots and support them as best we can. Sometimes support may be in different tones, but we want to make sure that we're there to support those guys.
Talking to Sean Sweeney, the all-new Orlando Magic head coach. Coach Brandon Kravitz here. We'll get to know each other well over the course of what will hopefully be a number of successful years here in town. You've been labeled as a fiery coach. How did you get that label? Do you remember the first time that somebody called you that, either in the media or, as you mentioned, some of the guys that you've coached in the past? And is that something that you wear with a sense of pride?
I mean, I just try to hug them and love them, bro. That's all I try to do. I want to be consistent in my intensity. I want to be consistent in my concentration. I want to be consistent in my preparation. And we want to be detailed in our teaching. We want to be able to adapt as best we can. We want to hold these guys to a standard and hold them accountable. And some guys, that takes shape in different ways and in different forms. And, I hope to be a composed coach as best I can. But, sometimes even guys like me who have, Irish parents, we lose our temper from time to time.
Have you found that it's tougher to coach like that in today's day and age, where you have so many pampered athletes, guys that have been playing AAU ball and been told how great they are, and then all of a sudden they get to the NBA and and they meet someone like yourself. Is it harder today to coach guys hard?
Well, I think it's not necessarily harder. No, it's different than it was before. When I got in the NBA back with the New Jersey Nets and then the Brooklyn Nets, there was the team we coached in Brooklyn when we lost to the Heat in the second round. I mean, I think every guy on the team was practically older than me. So that definitely changed as I've gotten older and players have stayed the same or gotten younger. But coaching is for players. That's what we're here for. Every decision that we have is rooted in what's best for their growth and the team's success. And the more successful we are as a team and the more they grow, the better we are. And those things go hand in hand. So it's not harder. These guys, the guys that are serious players, they want to be coached. They want to get better. They want to improve. And it's my job to help them do it.
Wemby was asked how much credit you deserve for the defensive turnaround for the Spurs this past season. And his response was, quote, all of it. I've been wanting to ask you this since I saw that he said that. What was your reaction in response to that sort of praise from a player like him?
Well, that's the first I've actually heard that. My response is that he's pretty polished in front of a microphone, given that he's the youngest defensive player of the year and unanimous. But, I was very fortunate to coach him, very fortunate to coach the guys, his teammates. And, I'm grateful that he had that to say about me. And I just, I was fortunate to be there with him. I had a good seat to ride his coattails and watch his show and then work for Mitch Johnson and be a recipient of his leadership as well.
Coach, a lot of first-time NBA head coaches, so sometimes they're taking over rebuilding teams. They get a bit of a grace period. Their job is to develop and win later. But you were asked this question today at the press conference about being expected to take this team on a playoff run immediately. Is that a fair expectation, and do you welcome that sort of pressure or expectation?
Yeah, I have no problem with any expectations. Pressure is earned, and the expectations and the standards that we have for ourselves are going to exceed those around us. So our plan is to build great habits, build an identity, build a brand, grow in that identity, grow in that brand, so that way we can achieve sustained high-level success. And that's through our fundamentals that we're working on right now. That's through our habits that we're building right now. And ultimately, those things are the things that are going to carry us when it matters most, which is late into the year and during playoff time. But now pressure is earned, and we welcome any of that.
So you let it be known today that you had an office right next to Greg Popovich in San Antonio. Besides the X's and O's, was there a Popism or a program building philosophy maybe he imparted on you that you hope to bring to Orlando?
Well, I think just the Spurs in general, their basketball identity permeates throughout the building and through the culture. I didn't know enough about why the Spurs were great. And now after being there, I know at least a little bit of it, as to why. And that's through Brian Wright. That's through R.C. Buford, the Holt family, Coach Pop, and certainly and not least Mitch Johnson. Pound the rock is something that has been a staple of the Spurs program forever, and you can see it. It's real. And I thought Mitch did a great job of establishing our identity and our brand of basketball. And, he obviously learned from being around those guys, and I was fortunate enough in my short time there to pick up a couple of things, but I'm really, really impressed, and I can see why they have had the success and why we were fortunate enough to have the success because of the program, those that went before us, and it helped those that were carrying the torch forward now.
Couple more things for you, Coach. We're talking to head coach Sean Sweeney. I'll make you look back just this one time, but today is a big day in New York City. They are holding the parade for their championship. I'll be honest, I thought you guys were going to roll New York, and that did not happen. Couple of blown leads. What happened from your seat? You were right there in the huddles. How did you guys let that one slip away, that opportunity in San Antonio to beat a New York team? Because I thought you guys were going to be much more competitive.
What was Belichick's? We're on to Orlando. No, man, there's a few things that, we caught some bad luck. They're a great team. I thought we did a good job in a number of things process-wise. And, sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way. Each game was super competitive. And, there's a lot of lessons that you can always learn from every series and every game. And, it's a harder pill to swallow given that it was in the finals. But at the end of the day, each game is like a test. You study for it, you prepare, you take it, then you've got to make your corrections and get ready to take that next test. And that's where I'm at with it. But yeah, it was definitely tough to lose something when you're that close.
So I asked some of our listeners if they had any questions, and not all of them were great, but I plucked a couple of good ones, and I'm going to pick out my favorite here as we wrap up our chat with you. This one's from Brian. What kind of ideas do you have to maximize Paolo and Franz playing off of each other on the offensive end?
Well, I think, just in general, we want to be disciplined in our approach. We want to be great in our concepts. We want to be sound in our fundamentals. And I think, when we're just looking at things generally speaking, we want to get great shots as soon as we can. We want to play advantage basketball. And how we create advantages and then keep them is really, really important. And that's where guys like that, they can be not only facilitators, not only guys that terminate a possession, but they can be creators. And they have diversified skill sets, so there's different ways to utilize them. But in general, we want to make quick decisions. We want to be disciplined in our spacing. And then, when we get to the critical offense point of the game, there's ability to use different 2- and 3-man game actions. But throughout the course of the game, we want to activate all 5 guys. We want to play team basketball on both ends so we can get more shots and better shots than our opponents.
Coach, last one. Magic fans they've suffered a lot over the last couple of decades. They've been through rebuilds of rebuilds, and all of that, and haven't won a playoff series in 16 seasons. Do you have a message for Magic fans today as you take over as the head coach?
Just that I'm excited to be here. I'm grateful to be here. I know how much the team means to this community, and our job is to put together a plan, to put together a style of play, put together a way that we act each day, so that way we do something that they can be proud of and be excited about. And I think we're on the right track here already.
Coach Sean Sweeney, we appreciate you taking the time to join us today. We look forward to covering you as you lead the Magic in the future.
Thanks, fellas. Thank you very much.
There you have it, Sean Sweeney.
The first of many, Mike.
Right.
I am sure that he is the man to my left in love with the Irishman.
He did give a hell of a press conference today. I mean, yeah.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about our chat that we just had with him, and we'll get your reactions to it when we return. Let your feelings be known on the Mills Air text line at 50857. We're back with that next.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
Let me tell you a story that recently reminded me why preventive maintenance is so important. Just the other day, Jason and the crew at Ziegler Air Conditioning came out to my new home to replace an evaporator coil. And if you've ever had to replace an evaporator coil, you know it's not exactly an inexpensive repair. The question is, why did it need replacing? Simple. The previous owner of the home hadn't properly maintained the system. That's the thing about air conditioners. They don't usually just fail overnight. Many major repairs start as small issues that could have been caught early through routine maintenance. That's why I recommend Ziegler Air's preventive maintenance program. Their technicians service my system twice a year. They clean the drain lines, they change the filters, they lubricate the moving parts, they inspect the critical components, and perform a thorough 25-point checklist designed to improve efficiency and reliability. Think about it this way. You wouldn't skip maintenance on your car and expect it to last forever. Why would you do it with one of the most expensive parts of your home? Give them a call, 407-245-8765, 407-245-8765. Tell them the Bulldogs sent you. Ziegler Air Conditioning. Don't ever lose your cool.
Couple accidents to look out for on the Beach Line westbound at Innovation Way. That's off to the shoulder. 408 westbound at the Greenway. That's also off to the shoulder. At the intersection where Wakaiwa Springs Road meets Lake Brantley Road, there's an accident. Look out for emergency crews on I-4. Nothing tying you up, just typical delays starting to form this afternoon. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
Spring has sprung and the bugs are out. That doesn't mean that you have to let them take over your domain. Call the pros at Burn Pest. Joe and his team have been doing this for years. And unlike the big box chains, they're not interested in you spending as much money as possible on every single visit. Burn Pest wants your business for a lifetime. They're a trusted source in this community, helping with a pesky problem. So if bugs are starting to become a problem, call Burn Pest Control, where the bug stops here.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Trouble sleeping lately? Upgrade to the great sleep you deserve at Mattress Firm's July 4th sale. Choose from a curated selection of top brands and let their sleep experts help you narrow it down. They make sleep easy.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One,
is coming back to Las Vegas.
September 18th and 19th at T-Mobile Arena, streaming live on Disney Plus and Hulu.
And you can be there
For a weekend full of superstar performances.
Are you ready?
Once-in-a-lifetime moments you'll have to see to believe.
We're getting this party going, huh?
Only limited single-night tickets remain. Get yours while you still can now at AXS.com. And we'll see you at our 2026 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
presented by Capital One.
DraftKings Sports is live in all 50 states. Yes, that means you, Florida. The whole world is watching one tournament right now. Group stage chaos, knockout drama, stoppage time heartbreak. The DraftKings Sports app is now live in Florida. So whether you're catching the early kickoff before work or the late match after the bar, you're in on every minute, every match, every moment, all in one app. Right here in Florida, the world's biggest stage is in the palm of your hand. New DraftKings customers, sign up with code WYGM740. Spend $5 to get $200 in total rewards. That's WYGM740 in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim issued in non-withdrawable predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends June 28th. Terms at dkng.co/predictions promo.
Hi, this is Mike Lester with Talon Wealth and the Guarding Your Nest Egg radio show, and I have another investment idea for those seeking great returns with limited risk. Recently, we did a structured note for our clients, paying them 18.75% per year for 4 years, and it was great for clients seeking income or growth and principal protection. The note was based on the S&P, gold, and silver, and our clients won't lose principal as long as none of the ETFs are down more than 40% 4 years from when we placed the trade, and the bank guaranteeing them doesn't default. This isn't an offer because we already traded this note, and structured notes aren't for everyone. But if you would like to know more about how structured notes work and what we currently have available, call us at 916-888-4000, 916-888-4000 if you'd like to learn more.
Advisory services offered through Talent Private Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions voiced and information provided in this material are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party. Wait, is that Ronaldinho? Ronaldinho, you think Brazil will win it all this summer?
Claro que sí. Can I just say, you're my favorite player ever.
Bet all of soccer's biggest matches this summer on Hard Rock Bet. And keep your cool in case you run into Ronaldinho. Download the Hard Rock Bet app and back your country. Roll with us. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Hi, this is Mark Spain, and we're hiring listing agents. Are you ready for a career move that will be rewarding and earn you the high income you deserve? If you enjoy delivering great customer service and working with people, I want to talk to you. Go to joinmarkspain.com and apply today.
The Sunshine State legalized sports betting for good in 2023, and it's high time we had a podcast dedicated to that hobby. Well, I gotcha. The Florida Line is a short bite, quick hit sort of podcast where I speak exclusively about the teams that you want to bet on or against in the state of Florida. Baseball, basketball, and of course, our precious pigskin. We'll learn together, bet together, and hopefully we'll win together. Tune in wherever you download your favorite podcasts, and I'll see you soon on the Florida Line.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
We are Orlando's sports leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com. The biggest FIFA World Cup ever has started.
The most goals the United States have ever scored in a World Cup game.
The only place to hear the action for free is iHeart Radio.
iHeart Radio and Fox Sports are bringing you every match of FIFA World Cup 2026
live.
First career World Cup hat trick.
Lock in your preset now on the free iHeart Radio app.
Just search World Cup.
Don't miss Team USA's next match Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern against Australia.
The world is listening. Are you? 969thegame.com.
Battery pop quiz. Did you know that most rechargeable devices use lithium-ion batteries? They're in laptops, power banks, and more. They can, however, be a fire risk. So power up your battery smarts with tips from the National Fire Protection Association. Only buy products with a safety certification mark. Charge devices on hard surfaces. Don't use off-brand cords, and always unplug when fully charged. Let's charge into fire safety. Visit fpw.org/battery for more tips.
Felt like you missed something this morning?
It's becoming a disgusting habit at this point.
You did. You can listen while you get ready in the morning.
Wake up with us.
Just tell Alexa to play 96.9 The Game.
This is Paulo Banchero with the Orlando Magic, and you're locked into Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Father of mine, tell me where have you been? You know I just closed my eyes, my whole world is up here.
You can't beat Everclear now. Love me some Everclear.
It's our Father's Day episode today because tomorrow we're on the air, but not as much as we're going to have Team USA on the air because we're out at the Castle Irish Pub in College Park. So looking forward to that. That'll be for the 3 p.m. kickoff of the U.S. men's team taking on Australia. All right, Mike, you ready to react?
Yeah, I'm ready to react.
So you were at the press conference today. I could not make it, but figured that any question I would have, be able to ask that here when we had him on. And I find Sean Sweeney to be refreshing. He feels very authentic in a gruff sort of way. You know, you're always going to compare whoever you're talking about to the last guy. I really like Jamal Mosley. I thought he was a really nice guy. Very easy to talk to. It's not like I thought he was inauthentic, but he was authentic in a kind way. He's the kind of guy I'd want to have over for dinner. Feel like I could smoke a cigar and have a glass of wine with him and have a good time. Sean Sweeney's a little intimidating, and I think this team needs that. And he talks like somebody that his number one goal is not to be liked. It's just to get the most out of the person that he's coaching. And this team needs that desperately.
Yeah. I don't know if intimidating is the right word, but I mean, when we had Jeff Weltman on our show right after they made the hire, he talked about he doesn't have to pretend to be intense. He's just intense. At the press conference today, even though he was smiling and gracious and thanking everybody, you could just sense, when somebody walks into the room, you can just sense their intensity. All right. Like for instance, and this is an entirely different sport. As much as I disliked Urban Meyer, all right, when he was coaching the Gators, when he walked into the room, there was intensity in the room, okay? And that's what Sean Sweeney seems to have, just that innate intensity that even though you brought this up, he's coaching these multi-millionaire players who, were brought up through AAU. I think he's, even though he's not a big guy, but I think they're going to respect him immediately just because of that quality I'm talking about.
I think a lot of it's probably a misconception, but even the question that I asked about the majority of players being pampered athletes, you have to work so hard to make it to the NBA. Right. And he's right. Most of the guys that he runs into want to be coached. The best players if they want to get better, and they're not going to get better by somebody standing there telling them how great they are. They're going to get better by saying, you need to be doing this. You're doing this, but you should try this. You would get better if you tried it this way. And he is not someone that's going to shy away from that. When I talk about the intimidation factor, I'm talking directly to anybody out there who is listening to this, who finds themselves in the press room. You would know this from talking to Jamal Mosley. Now, towards the end of his run, he got a little bit more agitated, so he would push back a little bit more. But for the most part, most days that you'd catch Mosley, you could ask the dumbest question, and he was so nice, he would find a way to answer it respectfully. I promise you that will not happen with Sean Sweeney. If you throw trash his way, he will spit it back at you. Yeah, and that's the intensity.
Yeah, I thought when you asked him about blowing the series against the Knicks,
I thought he was going to bite my head off. And I want that. I want that. This team, this organization needs that. There has to be, for too long, there is a niceness about the Magic organization. I think it's one of the reasons why it's one of the best places to work. That's not my opinion. The Business Journal has put out best places to work in America, not in sports, period. And the Orlando Magic organization lands high on that list. There's a niceness about the Magic. The mascot is a cute little dragon. Okay? They have the fans are in the rafters next to Shaq. Shaq only played here 4 years, double birded. We retired his jersey here. This is a nice organization.
They've always been a nice organization.
Okay? Dante Marcantelli, nicest man I've ever met. Nice people.
Right.
We need mean. We need nasty. Sean Sweeney brings it.
Well, they had a little bit of that. We were some of the media people today at the press conference. We were talking about, the Magic coaches of the past, and completely different because Scott Skiles was a former player, but Scott Skiles had a little bit of that.
Yes, intensity. He did. The problem is Scott Skiles had nothing to work with.
Right. And Rob Hennigan was his GM. So, you're right. The Magic do need more intensity. And I'm one of the ones who thought that Jamal Mosley didn't get a fair shake by getting fired. But, hey, I'm not the president of basketball operations. Jeff Weltman knows a lot better than I do what this team needs. But, yeah, I'm sort of excited to see how this team plays under Sweeney because – even though the Magic were really good defensively under Jamal Mosley, they might be even better defensively.
Well, you called it out very early on last year. The Magic lost their edge. Right? They lost their edge. They were still a very talented basketball team, and when everyone was healthy, which was few and far between last year, they were still really good. It's one of the reasons why you're probably not going to see anything get blown up in the offseason because I guarantee when these guys in the front office sit and look at all of the numbers and the metrics and the analytics, they're going to say, hey, when our starting five was healthy and our bench was healthy, we won a lot of games and looked really good against good teams. So why would we change that? But there was an edge that was lost.
And I think the Magic will respond well to this because they asked for this. Their team leader asked for this. Paolo Banchero, when they lost the series in the first round this year, you remember what he said? I keep going back to this quote. He said, we need to create an environment around here where losing isn't acceptable. So the Magic players, at least they're lead dog seems like he wants this intensity in the organization. I mean, when Giannis Antetokounmpo, who Sean Sweeney coached as a young player, in fact, Sean Sweeney's job was to develop Giannis with the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis said, Sean Sweeney's the guy who created the killer instinct that I have. So, boom.
Love that. Love every bit of that. Now, what I want to ask the audience is, are we doing the thing that we always do after an introductory press conference? Are we drunk on the intro? 50857. More Game On after this.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
I know these draws have been a drag. That is, of course, unless you've been betting them, then it's been a cash cow. And you can draw up your next win over on Hard Rock Bet, my go-to place for all things sports betting, the only legal sports book in the state of Florida with all the markets that we crave. If you haven't tried Hard Rock Bet just yet, there's no better time than right now to get involved. The world's biggest soccer tournament is here. The NBA draft is next week, and yes, you can bet on that. And the U.S. Open is underway right now. If you still think the Rays can win the AL East, despite their recent slide, 4-1 odds to usurp the Yankees. If you're not sure what to put together, you can look at their pre-built same-game parlays, check out the stats on the Stats Hub, and tap in for daily profit boosts. If you've got friends, refer them too, and you'll both get a bonus bet up to $50. It's $50 for you and $50 for them. Bet together, win together, and get the party started over on Hard Rock Bet. Payable and bonus bets, not a cash offer, offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Orlando, are you ready for a weekend getaway that's got something for everyone? Then pack your bags and head to Mission Resort and Club in beautiful Howey in the Hills, right there next to Claremont. Not only can you tee off on two stunning championship golf courses, El Campeon and Las Colinas, but you can also play pickleball, tennis, or rent a boat at the marina and explore the largest chain of lakes in Florida. They're beautiful. And when the day winds down, relax at the spa or dine at one of their 4 fabulous on-site restaurants. The Sunday Champagne Brunch is a feast you will thoroughly enjoy. Mission Resort is perfect for couples, families, or anyone just looking for a little escape close to home. If you just want to come over for a day of golf, book those tee times, and when you check in at the pro shop, tell them Mike Bianchi, the Bulldog, sent you, and you'll get a free bucket of range balls. For hotel reservations and tee times, go to missionresortandclub.com. That's missionresortandclub.com. Mission Resort, Central Florida's hidden gem, is just waiting for you.
NASCAR on Prime is making history in San Diego as the Cup Series roars on the Naval Base Coronado. It's the first race on an active military base, and it's all to celebrate the Navy. Honor, courage, commitment, and horsepower. There he goes up the track.
Don't miss the Andrew 250, Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, only on Prime. Not a Prime member? Not a problem. Simply sign up for a 30-day free trial. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
Men, if you're relying on pills or injections for ED, listen carefully. The Firm Men's Clinic in Orlando, we do things differently. We use advanced, non-invasive acoustic wave therapy designed to treat the root cause so you can perform naturally again. No pills, no needles, no surgery. Call now, 407-926-8333. Men of all ages are seeing real results at the Firm Men's Clinic. Call the Firm Men's Clinic now for your free confidential consultation. 407-926-8333.
If you're the victim of a car crash, never rush to settle with the insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anna Jar Levine. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
In Office Orlando.
A family office is a team built to handle the 3 biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today, 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
This year, North America will be the center of the soccer universe, hosting the biggest sporting event in the world, 48 nations and 104 matches, as every player puts it on the line for their country. And BetOnline has you covered with live lines and player props from Sportsbook Casino the whole tournament. Enjoy the freedom of online gaming at BetOnline, where the action moves with you and every moment is yours. Make 26 your year. Bet on at BetOnline.
This summer's must-have accessory, it's the Simon Plus Rewards program, where you can access exclusive offers for shopping, dining, and having fun at Simon malls, mills, and premium outlets. Plus, you can get points and rewards for shopping at shopsimon.com too. It's free to join, and there are even more exciting perks to enjoy every time you shop. Sign up at simonplus.com today and get ready to summer in style. Rewards program terms apply. See simonplus.com for details.
Hey, it's Cavino and Rich. Dude Wipes is making it official. Toilet paper is foul. Brown card issued. You wouldn't show up to a soccer match with subpar equipment, so why are you showing up to the bathroom with dry paper that smears and leaves extra men on the field?
Dude Wipes are XL, wet and built to close out the game properly. Send a brown card and a free 10-pack of Dude Wipes to a TP user in your life at dudewipes.com/brown card. Every squad has one.
Today, we tip our wrench to Rock Auto customer Noah.
My first car was a 2001 Dodge Neon with a blue wing, and it happened to match my high school sweetheart, who's now my wife, her black 2005. So my uncle has been in the industry for well over 25 years. He recommended Rock Auto immediately to buy my first set of brakes. I would recommend Rock Auto just because it's simple, it's easy to
simple repair, a leaky faucet, clogged drain, or a complete whole home remodel or new construction, no project is too big or too small. My wife and I asked the Facebook page in the community that we live in for some suggestions for a good plumber when we moved out to Longwood, and the first and most frequent name that popped up was Gomez Plumbing, and boy was my community right. Very few things as reassuring as a homeowner than having a plumber that you can count on. But they don't just service my area, they service yours as well. From everyday plumbing fixes to major renovations, the experienced team at Gomez Plumbing is ready to get the job done right the first time. And when you call, Haley or Kimmy are going to be there to help, making sure that you have all of your needs met with friendly, personal service every step of the way. Choose the name that Central Florida has trusted for generations. Schedule your next service with Gomez Plumbing and let that stress wash away.
This report is sponsored by eBay.
Hey everybody, Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Laurel Blanchard here with your Thursday night forecast. The last of the storm slowly tapering off as we head through the overnight tonight, but tomorrow it is going to be just as hot, just as humid, and we are going to be seeing even more storms on tap for tomorrow afternoon. Heat indices going to be feeling as if they are 111 degrees tomorrow afternoon, and we're even going to keep that heat, humidity, and those storms as we take a look ahead to the first half of the weekend on Saturday.
eBay is home to millions of finds, and each one becomes part of your story. From your favorite vintage band tee to the dream car you've been searching for or the foul ball you heroically gave away. It's all there on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Felt like you missed something this morning?
It's becoming a disgusting habit at this point.
You did. You can listen while you get ready in the morning.
Wake up with us.
Just tell Alexa to play 96.9 The Game. Enough of this rat poison. Let the coaches do the talking. It's time for Coach Speak. Now back to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Gonna need to get a new intro from Sean Sweeney on that one. We get that. Magic Media Days, only 3 months away. It's kind of hard to believe. It's our daily source of inspiration and motivation, and this one is about change. The winds of change are here. The Magic making a head coaching change, introducing Sean Sweeney today, not only to the media at large, but to Bianchi and I earlier on in the hour. Quote, all great changes are preceded by chaos. This is from Deepak Chopra. Change is the only constant in life, Mike. You got to roll with it.
Yeah.
But that is the beauty of chaos, is that if you want things to change, you kind of have to reach the chaos point. It's usually the motivation needed for any major change. Relationships, job, personal life. If you don't reach that point of chaos, rarely do we find the motivation to change.
Well, I don't think the magic reached the chaos. I think the magic
depends on what your definition of chaos is.
Sometimes change, and this happens in marriage a lot. Okay, I speak from experience. Change doesn't come from chaos; it comes from stagnation, and I think that's where the magic were.
So I guess there's two types of change, and I'm going to use a geology analogy. You either see massive change because of some traumatic
natural disaster.
Yeah, like a volcano erupts and now lava covers the land.
Earthquake, yeah. Okay.
That happens quickly. Mm-hmm. That's chaos. Mm-hmm. Or by erosion, Pangea continents slowly drift apart over thousands and millions of years. That sounds like what you're talking about.
Water lapping against the seawall.
All of a sudden, a million years goes by and that mountain is smaller.
Right.
And the Grand Canyon is formed.
There you have it.
That was a very philosophical discussion.
It was.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I never really understood that whole, man. Like, is that like a giant tooth? Does the Earth floss the Grand Canyon, man? It is Goat Week today.
Goat!
Today and every day this week here on Game On. We want to know who you think the Gator Goat is. Who is the greatest Florida Gator of all time, and why is it Tim Tebow? Is this even a discussion? This might be, of all the teams that we could talk about. There are two teams in the state, professional, if we're talking football, professional and collegiate, where it's not really a discussion.
I disagree.
Do you know?
I disagree.
So that you think the answer is not just easily Tim Tebow?
I think that's the answer most people will give, but longtime Gator historians like myself will tell you that, and I realize
don't do it.
His coaching comes into it as well.
On.
But Steve Spurrier, sort of like Dante Culpepper, Steve Spurrier put Florida football on the map. He made it big time, and not just through his coaching. He was the first Heisman Trophy winner, not just at the University of Florida, but in the state of Florida. And much like Dante Culpepper at UCF, who was my vote for greatest night of all time, Steve Spurrier could have gone anywhere and played college football. Anywhere. He's from East Tennessee, right down the road from Knoxville. Tennessee wanted him bad. And he said, no, I want to go to Florida because Ray Graves, the coach of the Gators, likes to throw the football around. Likes to throw it around the ballpark. And he signs with Florida. They put in one of the most hot, pyrotechnic passing attacks in college football at the time. He wins the Heisman Trophy, goes on to become, I don't remember if he was the second or third pick in the draft, quarterback to the San Francisco 49ers. And, and then he comes back and he's the greatest coach in the history of the program as well. So I'm going Steve Spurrier.
I am flabbergasted.
Why? I just explained to you the whole history of Florida football.
Nobody on this planet loves Tim. I don't even think his wife loves him as much as you do.
I love Timothy Richard Tebow. Don't get me wrong. I think the guy's going to be president someday. But when you're asking me who the greatest Gator of all time is, it's Steve Spurrier as a player.
Not a good quality for sports radio, but I am speechless. All right. Let us know what you think. Maybe there's somebody else. I'll take a Danny Werfel submission.
Wilbur Marshall, Jack Youngblood, Emmett Smith, Eva Hoydovy.
Emmett. Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's a party. It's a bash. Lollapalooza is on the way next.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
Well, that Florida Heat's throwing haymakers. You've got two choices. You can sweat it out or join the club of cool customers by calling the team at Mills Air. As a homeowner, you know, there's always something that needs your attention. Well, your AC should not be one of them, especially not this time of year, because when that Florida heat is at its worst, you need a company that you can trust to keep your family comfortable. That's why homeowners throughout Central Florida, throughout the entire region, they turn to and trust Mills Air for expert service, honest recommendations, and dependable solutions that fit the budget. They don't break the budget. Call Leon and the crew, schedule your appointment, and tell them that Brandon Kravitz from Game On sent you by. 407-277-1159, online at millsair.com. Call them today and be their next cool customer.
There's a couple crashes getting cleared up to look out for on the ramp from Princeton Street to I-4 westbound. That's partially locked. The ramp from County Road 46A to I-4 westbound. There's a crash there as well. Move over and slow down if you see emergency crews on the
It's a vocation, and I'm going to work to my highest level to do the best job I can for this franchise and for the guys like this that are sitting here in front of us. It's been 21 years of preparation that's brought me here, and I'm ready for it, and I'm excited to begin. A couple things about our team. Our team is going to be built on our values. We're going to value character. We're going to value competition. We're going to value connection, and we are going to value the game. I love the game. I'm a competitor. I want to do things with integrity, and I want to make sure that we are connected in how we play. That's going to shape how we act every day. Our behaviors are going to be shaped upon our values. We're going to be prepared. We're going to be attentive, and that's going to be active attention. So I'm going to listen to you guys as much as I talk to you. Now, how I talk to you may be different than how I listen to your asses, but I'm going to talk to you and listen. We're going to lead with purpose. We're not going to react, but we're going to lead with intention, and we're going to be consistent. I want to be the most consistent person I can. I want to be consistent every day I come in this building, and that's how we plan to be as a team. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to hold ourselves to a high standard. There's going to be an expectation that's high. The bar is going to be set high, and we plan on meeting that bar. But I'm going to talk to you
Exchange wisely. Follow the game on Facebook at 96.9 The Game. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
iHeartRadio FIFA World Cup Update.
Today at the World Cup, teams will start to play their second group stage matches. Canada coach Jesse Marsh says his team is taking it one game at a time.
We know that given our group being so tight right now, that every moment and every point matters, and we're focused on that.
Canada faces Qatar tonight. Meanwhile, Mexico will look to build on its hot start facing South Korea.
For live Fox coverage, search World Cup now on the free iHeartRadio app.
Hey, so what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2, Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
This is Jalen Suggs of the Orlando Magic. They say it pays to listen to Game On. How much are we talking? Now back to Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.
This is the best Father's Day song out there.
No.
Nothing like my daddy.
No. I just told you the best Father's Day song. You never even heard of it.
I've heard of Cats in the Cradle from Elton John.
Cats in the Cradle is by Harry Chapin, first of all. And, yeah, it's a song about a dad who never had time for his son. He's working hard as he's as the son's growing up. And he says, "That's son, I'll spend some time with you later. I'll spend some time with you later." And then the son grows up and goes to college. And the verse was the chorus, "Cats in the cradle
and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon."
Yeah.
I know the song.
Yeah. And then
that makes sense, by the way.
And then at the end, the son's in college and has grown up, and he comes home from college, and dad says, "Hey, son, let's go spend some time together." And son says, "Dad, give me the keys to the car. I don't have time for you." So it's like, yeah, he put the son off for his whole life. And then, when he wants to spend time with the son has grown up, and now the son doesn't want to spend time with his dad because he didn't have dad. It's a very philosophical.
Wow.
Does that mean it's a good Father's Day song though? If he doesn't want to hang out with his dad,
It's just there's a lesson in the song. Take time for your kids while you can.
I'll try my best.
Yeah.
That is for sure. Yep. That was a good one.
Yeah. Good one. Sad one.
Mike's having to fight you back now.
Yeah.
But you know what? Now that kid watched his dad work hard. Now he's stunting like his daddy.
Yeah.
Like Lil Wayne said. 50857 is how you can reach us on the Mills Air text line.
Dad should have said, "Hey, kid, if it weren't for me working hard, you wouldn't have money to go to college. So spend some time with me."
Exactly. Just go outside and pop the tires in his car. "Hey, now you're stuck, kid. You know how to change those?" "No, I didn't teach you. I was too damn busy paying for your college in your car. You ungrateful." Somebody said Kravitz knows the song. He is an elite music enthusiast. That is true. Someone said Jack Youngblood, Lomas Brown. Ever heard of him?
It's hard to make an offensive lineman the greatest player.
Why would you even text that? Honestly, we appreciate the response, but come on. Hall of Famer Emmitt Smith showed up. The head ball coach was a great choice as well. Yeah, but you're calling him the HBC.
What about this one? Ricky Nattiel. Remember him? Ricky Nattiel. He was one of the three amigos for the Denver Broncos. He was a great receiver at Florida. In fact, Ricky Nattiel from the same hometown as the lovely Mallory, your wife, from Newberry, Florida.
Oh, okay. It was right down the road.
Right. Yeah.
Stone's throw away from Gainesville.
Right.
We got one that said Wilbur Marshall. Elsewhere on the text line, somebody said Jaden's going to host a show one day. Mark these words and refer back. How about it's already happening?
He already does. He's a rock and roll DJ.
Jaden's working like 8 days a week now, too. I think I heard he picked up shifts on 104.1 as well.
Yeah, this Saturday, Sunday, 1 to 7 in the afternoon, all day long, prime time. XL overnights, if you ever want to listen to me late at night. JRR on the weekends. XL on the weekends again.
Wow. 8 days a week. The old Beatles song. 8 days a week. I love you.
You know, they say Ken Griffey Jr. was the five-tool baseball player.
Mm-hmm.
That's Jaden. Jaden is the Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
I do all the radio.
Notice how I just ignore whenever Bianchi sings.
Mm-hmm.
That's my strategy.
I don't need your approval.
I'm going to do it anyway. Somebody said about Sean Sweeney in our interview with him, it comes down to players. Spurs culture was created by luck and tanking and getting 3 number 1 picks. David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Victor Wembanyama. 2 of those guys stayed for their entire career. The Magic would have a Magic culture if Shaq and Dwight would have remained in Orlando for their entire career.
Yeah, good point.
It's what comes first, the chicken or the egg, because R.C. Buford and Greg Popovich are given a lot of credit for creating that culture. But if those guys would have left, what culture would there be?
R.C. Buford was once, a long time ago, he was once like the 3rd assistant coach at the University of Florida. He was like almost like a grad assistant under Lon Kruger. And his claim to fame was Bob Sura. Do you remember Bob Sura used to play at Florida State way back when?
No.
He was one of Florida State's best players. He was a bit of a hothead. And R.C. Buford got suspended because Bob Sura was being a a-hole, and R.C. Buford threw the ball at him. And he got suspended. It was a big to-do. That's how I did a column on R.C. Buford when he was with the Spurs, and I brought that up to him, and he goes, yeah, that was a long time ago. One of my most embarrassing moments.
Because the hotheads are coming from San Antonio, apparently. This is, you talk about Spurs culture, maybe that's Spurs culture. We've got Polapalooza. Polls are in our culture here on this show. We're going to get to a slew of them 60 seconds away. Don't go anywhere.
We wait for this moment all week. It's a party. It's a bash. It's Polapalooza.
We might as well be on the streets of New York because it's a party. It's a parade. It's
Polapalooza. Polapalooza.
We're going to lose Mike at one point when he does that. At one point, it's just going to be man down, Jaden and I running Polapalooza. Bianchi waits all week for this, the scratch to his poll itch. We've got 5 goodies that you can go and vote on our Twitter hub. At 96.9 Game On is how you can find us. Daily previews, updates, content, and weekly polls. Poll question number 1. How confident are you that Sean Sweeney will lead the Magic at least to a second round berth in the playoffs? So second round of the playoffs in his first season specifically. How confident are you? 4 options. Extremely confident, mildly confident, slightly pessimistic, or I'm not confident at all.
I guess we're assuming that the Magic stay healthy.
That is up to your analysis of the question.
Well, there's only 4 teams that make it to the second round. All right, so if you're asking me if the Magic are one of those 4 teams that right now, I would say, yeah, they're going to make it to the second round. I would say no. I don't think the Magic, I would say the Pistons, the Knicks, the Cavaliers, the Celtics, I would put at least those 4 ahead of the Magic. So I'd say mildly, what was the pessimistic?
Slightly pessimistic.
I'd say slightly pessimistic.
I am mildly confident.
Okay.
The Magic were right there. They were up 3-1 on the Pistons this year.
Right.
With a coach that had seemingly lost the locker room. Now they have a new guy that can refocus the team, and all they got to do is be big, capital H healthy. And I think they're a top 4 team in the
East is
conference.
going to be better this year. I mean, you got the Pacers. Pacers aren't going to be tanking this year. They're going to have Halliburton back. The Hawks were one of the best young teams in the league. The Hornets, good young team, up and coming. It's not like the Magic are just assured of.
I never said it would be easy.
Yeah.
Mildly confident for me, slightly pessimistic for Bianchi. Mildly confident winning the poll right now. 54% of the vote on mildly confident, followed by Bianchi's vote. 18% slightly pessimistic, 15% on I'm not confident at all, and only 12% are extremely confident in year 1 of Sean Sweeney. On to poll question number 2. Which sporting event will dominate your Father's Day weekend? World Cup soccer, U.S. Open golf, and I threw Major League Baseball on there just because it's the old national pastime. And there's going to be a lot of it on this weekend, as there is every weekend during baseball season.
I told you.
I know where you're voting. You're going with the U.S. Open.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and if you're honest, you'd say the U.S. Open as well. I mean, yes, we'll watch Team USA. No question, we'll watch Team USA on Friday, a large part because we'll be at a watch party.
I would be watching it anyway.
I know, but no, you wouldn't because it's at 3:00. You'd have it on the TV, but we'd be doing the show. Watch party.
If I wasn't at the watch party and we were airing the game and I was off, I would be watching the game.
Yes. Okay.
Undoubtedly.
Right.
And then on Saturday, what is Germany, Ivory Coast just going to watch itself?
You're gonna watch that over the U.S. Open? I don't think so. I think you're just lying.
I haven't even answered yet. What do you mean I'm lying?
Well, because you're gonna say soccer.
Call me a liar before I even respond to the poll. If I'm really honest, truly honest, my answer would be Major League Baseball.
That's only because you'll have about 5 bets on it.
Oh, easy. You kidding me? I'll roll out of bed with 5. So, yeah, whatever. I'm going to go. I'll be watching all of these pretty evenly. I mean, I think, honestly, it's going to be pretty even split. But I'm with Mike. U.S. Open golf will be. Once we get to Sunday, that's going to dominate the TV screen. 43% of the vote on the World Cup, 36% on the U.S. Open, and only 19% on Major League Baseball. Poll question number 3. If you were running an NFL team that needed a quarterback, would you take the risk on Brendan Sorsby in the supplemental draft? Absolutely yes or hell no. We argued this yesterday. We've argued this the last 2 days. I am on absolutely yes. Bianchi is on hell no.
Well, but I said yesterday when we were talking about the Dolphins possibly going after Sorsby, I said, well, if you're talking about like a late round pick, like I'd put a 4th round pick out there for Brendan Sorsby. I'm just talking about like an early 1st or 2nd round pick. Hell no. But if you want to give him to me for a 4th, 5th, 6th round pick,
So it's not a hell no for you. You would bring him onto the team at a cheap price.
At a cheap price, yes.
All right. So I think Mike's in. Absolutely yes for me as well. 78% of the votes say hell no. What I think is unfair in the Brendan Sorsby discussion is the assumption that he is still an active addict. There's one thing to admit that you have a problem. I think for most people that never truly goes away, but the action can go away if you get help.
Okay, but you brought
Who's
up
to say he didn't?
You brought up Waller yesterday being
He was an alcoholic.
He was an alcoholic. But here's the difference, all right? If he falls off the wagon and has a drink, he still can play football. If Sorsby falls off the wagon and gambles again, he's done forever. So that's you can fall off the wagon, have a drink, and still the team's not going to kick you off the team.
Well, you probably kick yourself off the team. If an alcoholic falls off the wagon, it's not going to be just like, oh, I had a beer at a party. It's, it's usually more intense than that. Poll question number 4. Settle the debate. Has Wemby become the NBA's newest villain? I almost changed the wording of this question just to see. I was going to throw out, I originally typed out who is the biggest NBA villain just to see how many votes Wemby would get.
Draymond Green.
But there's so many good ones out there. Dylan Brooks, that LeBron people don't like. So I decided to go straight to the question. Just see how many people agree with me out there. I don't think the percentages are going to be in my favor. I haven't clicked on it yet. Has Wemby become the newest NBA's villain? You say?
Oh, absolutely.
And I say no. 62% of the votes say yes.
I don't see how
sheep. You're all sheep.
Yeah, but how do you? It's not sheep. We watched the finals. We watched the playoffs.
What do you think I was doing? Okay, we just watched through a different lens, I suppose. 62% of the votes say Wemby is the new villain, and then by the start of next season, everyone will forget. It'll be, oh, Wemby's the best. He's the MVP. Poll question number 5, the one you've all been waiting for. It's about barbecue. Plant your flag on a barbecue spot. Which of these is your favorite options among places that do exist in Central Florida? Sonny's, Four Rivers, Keller's, or Cecil's?
Okay. I don't know.
I didn't know that.
I don't know where you get Keller's and Cecil's.
I thought those were commonly known. There's not as many locations as there are with Sonny's and Four Rivers. But
I mean, what about like a Smoky Bones or something?
Smoky Bones isn't a barbecue place.
Smoky Bones? Of course it is.
No, it's not.
It's Smoky Bones a barbecue?
First of all, where the hell is
Smoky Bones?
Where the hell is there a Smoky Bones anyway?
Right there on West Colonial.
Is there still a Smoky Bones?
It might have closed.
Most of the ones I'm familiar with.
What about Babalu's?
Babalu's would have been a good. That would have been a good one.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I've never heard of the Cecil's.
Cecil's is in downtown Orlando. I picked a centrally located barbecue spot, and Keller's. There's a couple of Keller's locations in Orlando.
What about Mission Barbecue?
Mission would have been a good one too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
This is about the top 2 options.
Yeah, it's about Sonny's, which wrote the book on Real Pit Barbecue in the state of Florida.
Four Rivers rewrote that book.
No. Sonny's. First of all, I went to Sonny's last night. The smoked wings are incredible. The prices are much better than Four Rivers. And Sonny wrote the book on barbecue. He started his first restaurant on Waldo Road in Gainesville like 50 years ago. Without Sonny's paving the way, there'd be no damn Four Rivers.
I'm actually with Mike, and I think it's a pricing thing. Sonny's and Four Rivers are close enough in quality. One of the things I need in good barbecue, it's the same way I feel about Mexican food. I love it. But there's no reason why you need to charge elite premium pricing for basic ingredients like barbecue and Mexican food provide. Like the difference between good Mexican and great Mexican is not different enough for you to charge premium pricing. So I'm offended by the prices at Four Rivers, and for that reason, I'm with Mike. I go with Sonny.
And here's the other one. I ordered
the portions.
But I ordered a draft beer at Sonny's. A big draft beer, Bud Light draft. It was like $3 for this big draft beer. I'm like, good God. Could you imagine? Do they even serve beer at Four Rivers?
I think they do serve beer at Four
Rivers.
It
ain't $3, I'll guarantee you that.
It's the craft stuff.
Yeah, see? Boom. Even better for
Jaden, you want to lay in your vote here before we...
it's Four Rivers all the way. Only person on this show that loves Four Rivers.
I love Four Rivers, too.
Not enough is me, clearly.
I do love it. I just think that they've gotten a little full of themselves. They need to lower the prices. 48% of the vote is on Four Rivers, though. 46 on Sonny's. And,
You like that? You like that?
You like that? Keller's and Cecil's. I think they have one vote apiece.
Who won? Who won again?
Four Rivers won. By a nose. By a shred of
By the end
pork.
you can still vote. By the end of the show, Sonny's will have overtaken Four Rivers.
Four Rivers on top, baby.
Won by a burnt end. That is this week's Pollapalooza. Up next, we have not figured that out yet, but we are going to do that collectively right here on Game On.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. We'll be right back after this.
We Florida sports fans know that momentum can change fast, and during hurricane season, the weather can turn in a hurry too. That's why now is the time to strengthen your home with Renewal by Andersen's Acclaim Impact Windows. Built for Florida homes, these windows are designed to stand strong against severe weather, flying debris, intense humidity, and powerful winds. Plus, they help improve your home's energy efficiency by keeping cool air in and harsh heat out. And because they're made from 5X material, they won't warp, crack, or deteriorate like ordinary vinyl windows. Right now, Renewal by Andersen is offering unbeatable storm season savings. Buy one window or door, get the next one 40% off. Plus 0 down, 0 payments, 0 interest for 1 full year. What a deal that is. Restrictions apply. So whether you're in Central Florida, the Gulf Coast, or in Jacksonville, visit bestwindowsflorida.com. That's bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. License number CGC 1527613. Renewal by Andersen, where comfort meets quality.
There's a couple crashes getting cleared up to look out for on the ramp from Princeton Street to I-4 westbound. That's partially locked. The ramp from County Road 46A to I-4 westbound. There's a crash there as well. Move over and slow down if you see emergency crews on the roadways. Afternoon slowdowns are starting to form on I-4, Florida's Turnpike, in your typical areas. Traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
Everyone's home through the summer, so let's not do anything illegal. But if you do, Trey Flynn is there by your side. I'm talking DUI, serious felony. His expertise in the courtroom and record speaks for itself. Trey Flynn is unlike many in the industry. Compassion for those who have made life-altering mistakes, especially during these summer months. Your free case evaluation is just a click or a phone call away. Visit TreyFlynn.com or dial 407-557-6350. Arrested today? Call Trey.
This report is sponsored by Gatorland. Gatorland knows you need more animals, more gators, and more fun. And now, Florida residents get what they need for less. With $17.50 admission now through the end of June. We know what y'all need. Y'all need Gatorland.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One,
is coming back to Las Vegas.
September 18th and 19th at T-Mobile Arena, streaming live on Disney Plus and Hulu.
And you can be there
For a weekend full of superstar performances.
Are you ready?
Once-in-a-lifetime moments you'll have to see to believe.
We're getting this party going, huh?
Only limited single-night tickets remain. Get yours while you still can now at AXS.com. iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Presented by Capital One.
DraftKings Sports is live in all 50 states. Yes, that means you, Florida. The whole world is watching one tournament right now. Group stage chaos, knockout drama, stoppage time heartbreak. The DraftKings Sports app is now live in Florida. So whether you're catching the early kickoff before work or the late match after the bar, you're in on every minute, every match, every moment, all in one app. Right here in Florida, the world's biggest stage is in the palm of your hand. New DraftKings customers, sign up with code WYGM740. Spend $5 to get $200 in total rewards. That's WYGM740 in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim issued in non-withdrawable predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Ends June 28th. Terms at dkng.co/predictions promo.
Fair Co-op Secure Ride is live. The world's safest ride. Up to 20% cheaper pricing. No surge. Support drivers owning driverless vehicles for the future. Thousands of dollars given away daily in free rides. Refer drivers and riders. Earn residuals for life. Join Fair.coop, the world's safest ride. Fair.coop, official partner of iHeart Radio. Download the app now at fair.coop/iHeart. That's FARE.coop/iHeart.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Hey man, what's Hard Rock Bet giving you players? If you win your first $5 bet, you get $150 in bonus bets.
$750? ¿Cuánto?
Oh, was that Ronaldinho? Sounds like his first bet scored.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New customers bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
There's nothing quite like a new experience with friends. And when people ask me, hey, what do you want to do tonight? I feel like I'm always stuck in this trap where I come up with the same 5 ideas over and over again. Well, Bananas Axe Cabana offers something a little bit different, something unique, but extra social for you, your friends, your coworkers. It's a great date night spot. Bananas Axe Cabana in Lake Buena Vista is the perfect location to just simply unwind after working as hard as you do throughout the course of the week. Go and book with them today. It's Bananas Axe Cabana.
Please be advised, you may want to stop eating the following foods immediately: broccoli, kale, blueberries, quinoa, spinach. I thought those were good for me. What's healthy for one person may cause inflammation for another. So how do you know what your body actually needs? That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple at-home gut health test that analyzes your real-time biology to give you personalized nutrition guidance and custom supplements. Learn more at Viome.com/gut. V as in Victor, IOME.com/GUT. And use coupon code GUTHEALTH50 to save $50 off your purchase.
We are Orlando's sports leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team, doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
Joy is essential and it's also elusive. But now there's a new and exciting way to start your journey toward a more joyful existence. Joy 101. It's a new podcast hosted by me, Hoda Kotb. If you're craving inspiration to maximize your joy, tune into these candid, uplifting, and moving on-air chats. Open your free iHeart Radio app, search Joy 101, and listen now. Joy 101 with Hoda Kotb is presented by CVS.
969thegame.com.
This is the Bulldog, Mike Bianchi, keeping it real. Let's be honest about something.
For the way Glenn Miller played, something made the hit parade. Guys like us, we had it made. Those were the days. And you know who you wanted. Those were girls and men were men. Mister, we could use a man like Herbert Hoover again. Those were the days.
Honest work, period. That's the kind of company you want taking care of something as important as your AC. So give them a call at 407-245-8765, 407-245-8765. Ziegler Air Conditioning. Don't ever lose your cool.
Orlando's hometown sports station. This is 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the free iHeart Radio app.
What's up, Orlando? This is T-Mac. You know, I once scored 13 points in 35 seconds. Bianchi and Kravitz can spend 33 minutes arguing about nothing. You're listening to The Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz. Yeah, boy!
Child arrived just the other day.
Oh, little Harry Chapin for you.
Harry Chapin here.
Planes to catch and bills to pay.
This is Cats in the Cradle. Father's Day songs. Don't exactly bring it like the Mother's Day songs do, but you know, with got Father's Day coming up this weekend. I hope everybody has some nice plans to either be celebrated or to celebrate the father in their lives. 50857 is how you can reach us. I asked you earlier in the show, are we drunk already on the Sean Sweeney introduction. We have a tendency to do this, Bianchi especially, when new coaches are introduced and we get to know them for the first time, interview them, their press conferences and all of that. And we got one from the 321 that says, to answer your question, Kravitz, yes, we are drunk again from the press conference, but at least this time we're drinking Jameson, baby. Somebody said you are not drunk on the intro because I listened to it too, and Sweeney hit a couple of home runs. I think of him as a younger, more talented Steve Clifford.
Cliff was a good coach.
And then how about this follow-up to that? What do you guys think of the assistant coach hires?
Oh, God. Hey,
come on, give me the breakdown.
Couple of G League head coaches. Hey, they must know their X's and O's if they're G League head coaches.
I would hope they know their X's and O's. If they don't, those were terrible hires.
I know nothing about these guys.
Same. Let's see what else we got. The team takes on the character of the leaders. I think the Magic will take on Sweeney's intensity, and it will prove to be successful right away. Keep texting in 50857. Let me update this YouTube stream that we got. Boom. Look at there. Bianchi's Golden Dome back on the stream. I wanted to throw this one at you, Mike. Did you see that Cincinnati has now replied to the claims that they knew about Brendan Sorsby?
About his gambling? Yeah, because Brendan Sorsby's agent went on the Dallas radio station and said, hey, if anybody should be getting to eat, it should be Cincinnati. They knew for 2 years what was going on. They never did anything about it.
Well, they claim that that's a lie. They said, quote, we will reiterate what we have said before. All of our student athletes receive extensive gambling education multiple times throughout the year, and we would never knowingly play an athlete who violated NCAA sports wagering regulations. If we ever became aware of impermissible wagering, we would report that to the NCAA and comply with sanctions.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm a cynic. All right. I'm a cynic when it comes to schools doing the right thing. I just am. The Michigan 3 years ago was the epitome of that. But I'm reading the same story probably you are. It says on August 19th, 2024, Cincinnati was alerted to Sorsby's activity on the daily fantasy site Prize Picks, according to court documents. The school questioned Sorsby after receiving the alert and was told by the quarterback that he was denied access to the site and had not placed any wagers. Sorsby also received sports wagering education, and the matter was closed. So again, how yeah, maybe they didn't exactly know that he was gambling, but did they try to find out, or did they just say, hey, were you gambling? Nope.
So this is why I think they are at least somewhat believable here. Cincinnati uses technology called Prohibit, which that's very clever with the name Prohibit.
Yeah.
To monitor impermissible betting by student athletes, coaches, and other prohibited personnel.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you even use that technology or have that technology if you're not going to use it when it pops up?
Because everybody in the Big 12, I think, requires all the schools to have that technology. I think that's the Big 12 edict.
So that's not a Cincinnati thing?
I don't
know if that's the case. It is less believable. But if they were going to strap their student athletes with this app on their phone that watches their behavior, why not then use the information that you have? And how would you not be aware if you have the technology at your fingertips? That's when I read that, I thought, okay, their statement was an obvious one. You figured that would come out, that they were going to deny. But they use technology to catch student athletes on this. If you have that technology and you use it, why would you then not put it into practice?
I don't know. I just think, and
Michigan is a little different. I think comparing Cincinnati and the way that they go about their football program is a little different.
I'm not even accusing Cincinnati of anything. I'm just skeptical because if I knew a player, there was even a hint of gambling, I would do more than just ask the player if he ever gambled and then, hey, go to gambling awareness class and boom. I mean, You have to dig into this stuff.
You have to dig into it.
You have to dig into it. You know, but do you have any other cell phones? Where all of this.
Are you betting through other people?
Right.
There's a lot of people that either have issues or for folks that are so good at it that sports books limit them, which is a very tiny percentage. They will use relatives' phones.
Right.
Logins.
Which he was doing, by the way. He was having friends and relatives make bets for him at Indiana. So
it is hard to believe that without getting caught that he would give this up. What I would like to believe is that this was a problem. It clearly was a problem. The way that he was betting pitch by pitch on baseball games.
Right.
That's an issue.
Plus, he bet like $90,000 in a I don't know what the time span was, but
that's all relative to
right.
how much. I think how much you bet. It might sound alarming, but if you're making a ton of money, then it's not that bad. But he doing that as a backup is one thing. Doing that, even if you want to, I saw we had a text the other day that compared it to Pete Rose. Pete Rose is managing the baseball team.
Right.
He does his hands on things.
Right.
It's different than being the quarterback. It's different than being on the field as an active participant that's constantly touching the ball. And I would like to think that at that point in his career, he had dropped the bet on my team when he is out there as the signal caller.
If he dropped it then why is he going to gambling rehab now?
I said I would like to think. I don't necessarily think that that's the way that went down. Up next, mic'd up, Sean Sweeney talks about what he sees in the two Magic Keystone Stars.
In terms of Paulo and Franz, I'm excited to coach those guys. You know, I think amongst the whole team, like how can you not be excited to coach everyone on this roster? Those two guys are obviously standout players in this league already, and I'm excited to get to work with them.
Mic'd Up is on the way next.
There's nothing more intense than the fourth quarter of a close game. Every play matters. Every decision matters. Retirement is the fourth quarter of your financial life. It's not just about saving money. It's about having a strategy for income, taxes, risk tolerance, and market swings. When I sat down with Trajan Wealth, they took the time to understand my goals, my timeline, and my comfort level with risk. One size does not fit all. They're independent, not tied to one product or portfolio. That means they can customize a strategy that reflects your values. And here's the other thing about Trajan. I'm not just talking about them anymore. I'm a client. They showed me opportunities I didn't even realize I was missing. If you want to enter your fourth quarter with confidence, call Trajan today. They've got a new number. Write this number down, all right? It's 1-855-TRAJAN1. That's 1-855-TRAJAN1. Tell them Mike Bianchi sent you. Visit TrajanWealth.com to schedule your free consultation. That's TRAJAN Wealth.com. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, SEC registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Actual client, paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
A new garage door not only adds curb appeal to your home, modern doors have stronger materials and improved locking systems, reducing the risk of break-ins and unauthorized access. But it's not about just finding any garage company. It's about finding the right one, and Dynamic Garage Door is the best answer you'll find. Believe me, no pushy scripts, no runaround, just experienced technicians who stand behind their work. Call Darren and Jackie today and experience the difference local service makes. Dynamic Garage Door. Strong, reliable, family owned.
This year, North America will be the center of the soccer universe, hosting the biggest sporting event in the world, 48 nations and 104 matches, as every player puts it on the line for their country. And BetOnline has you covered with live lines and player props from Sportsbook Casino the whole tournament. Enjoy the freedom of online gaming at BetOnline, where the action moves with you and every moment is yours. Make 26 your year. Bet on at BetOnline.
This summer's must-have accessory, it's the Simon Plus Rewards program, where you can access exclusive offers for shopping, dining, and having fun at Simon malls, mills, and premium outlets. Plus, you can get points and rewards for shopping at shopsimon.com too. It's free to join, and there are even more exciting perks to enjoy every time you shop. Sign up at simonplus.com today and get ready to summer in style. Rewards program terms apply. See simonplus.com for details.
NASCAR on Prime is making history in San Diego as the Cup Series roars on the Naval Base Coronado. It's the first race on an active military base, and it's all to celebrate the Navy. Honor, courage, commitment, and horsepower. There he goes up the track.
Don't miss the Andrew 250, Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, only on Prime. Not a Prime member? Not a problem. Simply sign up for a 30-day free trial. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
Join us daily on 96.9 The Game for your Embers Only Cigar of the Week. Brought to you by Corona Cigar Company. Luxury cigar lifestyle, fine spirits, and relaxation await at your nearest Corona Cigar. Dr. Phillips, downtown Heathrow, or online at coronacigar.com.
Hi, this is Mike Lester with Talon Wealth and the Guarding Your Nest Egg radio show, and I have another investment idea for those seeking great returns with limited risk. Recently, we did a structured note for our clients, paying them 18.75% per year for 4 years, and it was great for clients seeking income or growth and principal protection. The note was based on the S&P, gold, and silver, and our clients won't lose principal as long as none of the ETFs are down more than 40% 4 years from when we place the trade, and the bank guaranteeing them doesn't default. This isn't an offer because we already traded this note, and structured notes aren't for everyone. But if you would like to know more about how structured notes work and what we currently have available, call us at 916-888-4000, 916-888-4000 if you'd like to learn more.
Advisory services offered through Talent Private Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions voiced and information provided in this material are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual.
High interest rates and higher prices may be the norm everywhere else, but not at International Diamond Center. IDC's rolling back prices and taking interest rates all the way to zero. It's true. Now, for a limited time on virtually any purchase, you can spread your payments over 5 years with 0.0 interest. Get the best price on any piece of jewelry. Now divide that by 60, and that's your super low monthly payment till the year 2031. Designer engagement rings now as low as $50 a month. Diamond earrings as low as $45 a month. Wedding bands as low as $40 a month. Fine jewelry has never been more affordable. How about a $7,000 diamond bracelet, just $116 a month? All fashion designer jewelry is included. All colored gemstones. All certified diamonds, too. This is a spectacular offer exclusively from International Diamond Center. But hurry, you only have till June 30th to take advantage. Celebrate your love now with 0% financing store-wide for 5 years. International Diamond Center. Altamont Springs, Waterford Lakes, and Mall at Millennia. Excludes Rolex. Details and more at shopidc.com on approved credit.
The Sunshine State legalized sports betting for good in 2023, and it's high time we had a podcast dedicated to that hobby. Well, I gotcha. The Florida Line is a short bite, quick hit sort of podcast where I speak exclusively about the teams that you want to bet on or against in the state of Florida. Baseball, basketball, and of course, our precious pigskin. We'll learn together, bet together, and hopefully we'll win together. Tune in wherever you download your favorite podcasts, and I'll see you soon on the Florida Line.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-549-1238 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-549-1238. That's 800-549-1238. What do you have to lose? Call 800-549-1238. Again, 800-549-1238.
Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Yep, it's a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
News from the NFL, the Jaguars closed out their spring program, holding their final voluntary OTA session yesterday. In Tampa, Buccaneers defensive tackle Vita Vea has missed off-season work and is holding in at their mandatory minicamp due to contract-related issues. Baseball, the Marlins unloaded, launching 5 home runs. They buried the Phillies 12-4, avoiding a sweep. The Rays, meanwhile, got swept, losing to the Dodgers 5-4. I'm Matt McCoy.
This is 3-time Pro Bowler LeVar Arrington. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Rasmussen University. Rasmussen University is where passion meets education, offering over 60 career-focused programs, ranging from nursing and early childhood education to business and IT. Learn more at rasmussen.edu.
The UCF Knights play here. Catch every game right here on 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the iHeart Radio app. Coaches, players, GMs, everyone's got an opinion these days. Let's hear from the biggest names in the game. It's time for Mic'd Up.
I remember when I was a lad, times were hard and things were bad. But there's a silver lining behind every cloud.
Mic'd Up brought to you by Adventure Boat Share. Unlimited hassle-free boating without having to own a boat. It's remarkable. You can go boating anytime you want. Just show up, boat's waiting for you. Any kind of boat you want, fishing boat, bass boat, ski boat, pontoon boat. Take it boating, drop it off, and you're done. Anytime you want, check them out at adventureboatshare.com. Let's start mic'd up with new Orlando Magic coach Sean Sweeney held his introductory press conference today over at the Advent Health Training Center. Here was him talking about coaching Paolo and some of the other great players he coached.
As it comes to great players, the thing that the great players all have in common is they raise the level of those around them. So whether it's Luka Doncic in Dallas, who you talked about, or Kyrie Irving, or Kevin Garnett, or Paul Pierce, or Blake Griffin, or Giannis, or any of these guys, the guys here you just mentioned, Paolo and Franz, the mark of a great player, there's obviously a production piece of it, but it's your ability to elevate those around you. And so that's one of the common threads that those guys all had. In terms of Paolo and Franz, I'm excited to coach those guys. You know, I think amongst the whole team, like how can you not be excited to coach everyone on this roster? Those two guys are obviously standout players in this league already, and I'm excited to get to work with them.
One of his main missions, Kravitz, is getting Paolo and Franz to play well together, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's mission number 1, 2, and 3, to get those guys to play well together. And he has worked with some of the biggest stars that are in the game today. So that was part of the appeal in bringing him in, that he's been able to get the most out of Luka, Giannis, Victor Wembanyama, and can you now impart that on Paolo and Franz, who are two guys that they want to be coached hard. You can tell by the way that they approach the game. They're good culture guys, and I think they're going to get along swimmingly. I think it's going to be a match made in heaven.
All right, here's Coach Sweeney talking about, you know, how important it is to impart trust in your players and to communicate with your players.
We're going to be prepared. We're going to be attentive, and that's going to be active attention. So I'm going to listen to you guys as much as I talk to you. Now, how I talk to you may be different than how I listen to your asses, but I'm going to talk to you and listen. We're going to lead with purpose. We're not going to react, but we're going to lead with intention, and we're going to be consistent. I want to be the most consistent person I can. I want to be consistent every day I come in this building, and that's how we plan to be as a team. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to hold ourselves to a high standard. There's going to be an expectation that's high. The bar is going to be set high, and we plan on meeting that bar.
Yeah, there were a couple players sitting up front, and that's when he was talking to you guys. He said, I'm going to talk to you. Yeah.
That's where it helps being there. I wasn't able to make it to the press conference today. He kind of motioned towards the crowd,
right,
which is media members.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, this is where I like this guy. He was going to listen to us.
No,
you're going to listen to me?
No, he was talking to J.I., and I can't remember the other player that was there. Jamal, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Jamal Mosley? I don't think he would have been there. Jace Richardson.
Jamal Cain? Yeah, Jamal Cain.
Oh,
They're
that's Jamal.
forgetting about our boy, man. He does it for his dogs. Yeah, Jamal Cain. That's what I said, Jamal.
Jonathan Isaac and Jamal Cain were the two players sitting in the front row.
There were some others standing in the back, but yeah, those were the guys.
Hey, up front, why don't we get Jonathan Isaac and Jamal Cain?
First to be traded, Doug.
Faces of the franchise.
All right, here's LeBron James talking about something he didn't have when he was growing up.
I didn't know what a pantry was until my freshman year of high school. I went to my high school coach's house. His name was Coach Dan Brott. And I went to his house and I asked him, like, can I get a snack or like some chips or whatever the case may be or whatever. He was like, yeah, just go in the pantry. I'm like, what the pantry? I'm like, where I grew up, everything is on top of the refrigerator, bro. The bread, the chips, the cereal, everything is on top of the refrigerator. I don't know what the hell a pantry is. So like, that was my motivation right there. I'm like, I got to give my mama a pantry.
Damn right. Yeah. I just bought a new house. Pantry's not big enough.
Yeah, you got to have a pantry with some girth to it.
This pantry's not big enough.
I just replaced the doors on mine.
Did it yourself?
Did it myself.
You did?
My wife and I, was a couple's project. And
talking about those folding doors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
White ones?
Yeah. What'd you do? Like hang them up?
Yeah, took the old ones off. I looked up a YouTube video on how to remove the door, and then I've looked at the instructions and first I was like trying to muscle it in there, and that once you start trying too hard, you have it wrong.
Then you break.
We had to go back to the drawing board, and now they're installed, but when you close them, they don't close aligned to each other. Yeah. So right now, until I have the patience to deal with that, we're just leaving them open. It looks nice, but you can't close it. So we're almost there.
Here's Jalen Brunson at the Knicks victory parade today, talking to the people who doubted him.
Trade this for the world. Lastly, there's a lot of people that have a lot of negative stuff to say. There's a lot of people who have a lot of opinions. But when you prove them wrong, you really don't have to say to them. Nah, they don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
How many people doubted him? He's talking to the whole world right there because everybody doubted him.
Pretty much. He was a second-round pick. And then even when he became an NBA star, you think of Becky Hammon as the one that shoots to the front of my mind, because she was on First Take in the clip that went viral saying you can't win with Jalen Brunson as your A1 star. And to be completely blunt and honest, I'm pretty sure that at some point we aired that on these airwaves, and I probably agreed with her. Right. As did a lot of people. Who knew that a guy, an undersized point guard out of Villanova, could lead the Knicks to their first championship in 53 years. It's one of the best sports stories that we've seen in a while.
Absolutely. Here's Michael Wilbon talking about Giannis and why is everybody falling all over themselves to get this guy?
Giannis is a rumor. Giannis hadn't done jack in the months that matter, which would be May and June, since 2021. 5 years is forever in professional sports. Giannis is a multiple-time MVP, a great player, a Hall of Famer, and as you said, a champion. He was that. Yeah. I ain't seen evidence of it. Sorry, a league can now, particularly the NBA, it can pass you by. And with a ton of wings who are 6'9", 6'10" sort of size, DeBanza and Caleb Wilson and those kids coming in the league, Giannis can look obsolete fairly quickly if he can't get his butt out there and contribute heavily, massively in May, June. And I don't know that. I would not rearrange my franchise for Giannis.
Wow. Now, Giannis has been hurt. When he's healthy, he's still...
Okay, but even that part, that he's been hurt. He wasn't hurt last year. He wasn't hurt. The Milwaukee Bucks said, you're hurt.
Right.
He would have played.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they shut him
It's not
down.
his fault. It's not his fault.
He is still one of the most dominant players in the league.
Right.
So I pulled up two of my favorite analytic stats that they do their own version of. It's called the predictive plus minus. It's not your active box score plus minus. It's based on what you produce and what the expectation is moving forward. I use this in betting because if a player's missing, I don't look at what they've done. I look at what the predictive analytics say. Giannis is 5th in the NBA on this site that I use, Dunks and Threes. He's behind Victor Wembanyama, Nikola Jokic, Kawhi Leonard, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in terms of game-to-game impact that they have on their teams. I went to a different site. Say, okay, let's use a different one and see if they come up with a different predictive analytic. This is called DPM. I don't even know what it stands for. Jokic, Wemby, Kawhi, SGA, Giannis. Those are the most valuable players in the league to their teams based on the predictive analytics of plus minus offense. That means offensively and defensively, what are you providing when you're on the floor? Giannis is still one of the best players in the NBA.
Wilbon just said he ain't done jack in 5 years.
This is the reason why
jack.
I respect the hell out of Michael Wilbon, so I want to drag this guy. Okay, I think he's phenomenal. But this is why I can't watch ESPN. It's so simple and reductive. He hasn't done anything. He's on a bad team. Who just they just shut him down last year. What's he supposed to do? What is he supposed to do? That is not how we should analyze players. He hasn't done anything. Oh my God. I would just rather bang my head against the
something
wall.
Though individually.
He's incredible.
His team hasn't done anything because, as you said, their roster has stunk.
Oh, well, now he's on the Celtics, and they're good. This is unbelievable. He's got a super team around him, and he's awesome. That is mic'd up. Up next, we have another AI-generated theme song that we haven't heard. We'll debut it next.
Game On with Bianchi and Kravitz.